Hi everyone, Morgan here. So today we are going to be talking about hard assets and what are they? What types of things are hard assets? I think no matter what type of economy we're thinking about, hard assets are going to be one of our greatest assets. I'm not really sure how else to say that, and so when we're thinking about hard assets, we want to be thinking about things that we could use for barter, for skills, for helping people, for helping ourselves, to use in no matter what type of economy. So let's look at some hard assets. I want to look at where I am here. Okay. Let's see how much room I have. Okay, so hard assets would be things like generators, solar generators, gas generators, diesel generators. Any type of generator is going to be a huge asset, not just to you, but maybe to your neighbors who want to, barter or use it, or maybe you can use your generator to barter to other people to charge their devices for a short period of time. You know what I mean? A generator is very, very useful. But also, don't forget about the fuel sources or anything that might go with those generators. Those are also hard assets, I think. Propane lasts a really long time. And so I would say that propane is a really good hard asset to have. Several propane tanks, the big and small propane tanks, they can be used for barbecues. They can be used for generators. They can be used for so many different things, for heating, So propane is definitely a really good hard asset to have. Propane tanks specifically that are all filled. Things like cars, RVs, any type of vehicle like that are going to be great hard assets. You can, even if you can't sell like your actual vehicle or RV or something, maybe you can sell parts or you can rent it out. I know people who rent out their RVs, people who rent out their cars. You can make money off of those hard assets. And so having those hard assets is cars, vehicles, those kinds of things it can definitely be really good, So the next one's going to be precious metals. And this is going to be highly debated. There's a lot of preppers who do not look at precious metals as an asset. And I get it. Okay, I really, really do. Precious metals are probably on the lowest, pole of my totem pole. Okay, it's on the lowest part of things that I need to invest in. Okay, but precious metals could still be valuable in a lot of different situations. Precious metals have been valuable throughout history. And so even if we don't have cash, if we have precious metals, they could start to come back into circulation. And, so precious metals can have their place. Smaller precious metals, if you have just like a brick of gold, what are you going to do with that brick of gold? You know what I mean? So smaller denominations, that kind of thing, quarters, these kinds of things might be more valuable to you than, big bricks of gold or titanium or something, you know what I mean? Unless you're going to melt it down for, whatever. Speaking of melting down. So ammunition and supplies are great hard assets. The guns themselves are good hard assets. I can spell today, guns. The guns themselves are good hard assets as well. People are always looking to trade or buy guns, right? Guns are really good hard assets, but the ammo and supplies to make your own ammo, to reload and that kind of thing, fantastic hard asset. All the reloading supplies, just great. Think about in the past couple of years, these people who had a whole bunch of reloading supplies, they were just reloading their own ammo. You know what I mean? And so that could be a really good asset just for yourself or to trade or barter or whatever. I was seeing reloading ammo being sold at gun shows, which, anybody can have a booth at those places, but, they were selling them for like 3, 4, 5 times the markup of, regular commercial ammo, and people were buying them. So, reloads can be a little suspect sometimes, but ammo and supplies, guns, those kinds of things, those can be hard assets to just specifically sell, not just to have for yourself, but to sell. In addition to that, I would say almost any type of tools of any kind, whether it's to, for carpentry or, electrical tools, anything like that are going to be really great hard assets. A lot of people, they don't have those kinds of tools. They maybe have very basic tools, but when it comes to like things like saws and more very specific tools, those are really good hard assets. People are always looking for tools. I'm going to go ahead and lump lawnmowers and weed eaters and stuff like that, lawn maintenance. I'm also going to lump gardening. You know what? No, I'm not going to lump it in, because gardening supplies plus seeds, I feel like those are fantastic hard assets to have. You know how many people are looking for seeds? It increases. Since COVID has started, it has increased exponentially every season, 2 years. But still, over those past 2 years, the seed industries have been slammed. So the more seeds that you can get, vacuum seal them, take care of them, keep them in dry places. Water purification, any type of water purification, Berkey, the tablets, the water straws, the water pumps, a desalination system, right? A reverse osmosis, all these things, water purification, great hard assets to have. Okay, so I did talk about tools up here, but I want to mention manual kitchen tools, specifically in their own category. Things like cast iron, pots, pans. Literally these basic things are going to be really good hard assets. It's not just good for cooking, but it can be good for, maybe somebody else needs these things. Any type of manual, like a manual grain grinder, any type of manual tool, food mill, apple peeler, any of those things, a dehydrator. They don't have to just be manual tools, but I would put a dehydrator in there as well. Even if you have electricity and stuff, we're not talking about end of the world, no electricity. We're just talking about hard assets to have. I think a dehydrator, freeze dryer, all those things, not just manual, but just kitchen tools in general, things that can help you preserve, canning, all the canning supplies, the pressure canner, the water bath canning supplies, all that, pectin, all that stuff to help you preserve and all that. Okay, so the last few I want to talk about is going to be books. Books are just fantastic assets in general, right? Knowledge, and you can always share that knowledge. You can use that knowledge for yourself, whatever, right? Books. Or not just books, but like make your own recipe binder. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Another video, not right now. Make your own recipe binder, start printing out recipes. That's a good book to have, right? Radios, any type of radio communication, any of that, great assets to have. And then alternative energy, solar, wind, hydro, whatever alternative energy, plus the extra supplies that you might need to maintain, right? Or to fix it, any of those things. Alternative energy is one, I think, of the best hard assets that we can do for ourselves, if you want to keep that energy flowing. But
the last hard asset I want to talk about is land. They're not making more land. Well, they might one day, but as far as the real good land goes, the non-man-made stuff, land is really the greatest asset that we could give ourselves, our family, our loved ones. Land is something that will give you a leg up in every aspect. It will give you something of yours that you can control with animals, gardening, and everything that you want to do. So if you can get a piece of land, even if it's just an acre or two, okay, look into getting your own plot of land.
Really, anything can be a hard asset when you think about it. Fans, get to real basics, a fan to just keep you cool, or a little buddy heater. So many different hard assets. And listen, I know that this seems like a really overwhelming list, but I want you to take it one step at a time. I actually want you to make a list like this. Be specific, like what type of generators do you want? What cars and RVs do you have? What do you already have? And then what do you want to acquire, and then slowly work your way towards getting these things, okay? And to help you out, I have a PDF down below that has a list of hard asset ideas, as well as ideas for what you may want to acquire, as well as some general tips and advice for getting those hard assets. For any type of economy, I think it's, now is the time to be thinking about those things. Money is finite and our economy is always changing, but if we can have these hard assets to keep us going in times of crisis, to barter or trade with other people, to, if you need to ever sell for money, whatever the case may be, whatever is going on, you have these hard assets to help you out. Thank you all so much for watching. Call tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye.